Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Talking Television. And tonight we're talking about Big Little Lies, Season 2, Episode 4. And this one is called She Knows. And that's obviously talking about Mary Louise.
Yes.
And yeah, she definitely seems to know something. She's really turning the screws to everybody this episode.
She definitely is, yeah. Big things happen here.
Well, before we get too far into characters, I just want to say the editing in this episode was abysmally bad. And we've seen that twice now this season. I haven't taken the time to go back and see who the editors are on the specific episodes, but it was awful. And I'm sure if you pay attention, like it's just jumping all over, and there's little 5-second cut scenes here and there, and I don't know, it just didn't have any flow to it at all.
Yeah, very jumpy. Like you said, little character bits here and there that could have been eliminated. Yeah, they really didn't add to the story.
Maybe they were just trying to, pad the episode. It was still only 40-something minutes long.
Right.
It's no Jet episode, which is 68, 69 minutes long.
Got to fill that time.
Yep.
It makes it hard to keep up with what's going on when you're just putting these little snippets in.
Yeah, because you don't know if you're like witnessing a whole new scene about to unfold or if it's just Madeline kissing her husband and him rolling over, which was totally unnecessary.
Yeah, he's already made it pretty clear he's
right.
He's not interested right now.
Yep. All right, so you want to tell us what time of year this was?
Well, it was in October, month of October, Halloween time. Although, as Madeline states rather angrily, it was not the end of October; it was the beginning of October.
Yeah. Because
nobody looks at the calendars that are posted online.
Yep. So
they were getting the kiddos carving some pumpkins, getting ready for Halloween, and then gets a knock on the door, and guess who's there?
Mary Louise.
Mary Louise shows up, as she usually does.
And unfortunately, they let her in, which is such a mistake. I think everybody should know to blackball her at this point. And
yeah.
They haven't yet, at least not at the beginning of the episode. I think next week she's going to be out.
Well, yeah, we see something major develop this episode that is, I think, pretty much irreparable, for any sort of, relationship building. So, yeah, Mary Louise, she's there to, she says look out for her grandkids, but I think she's got, once again, her own motives. Like she wants to make sure her son's name was good and, protect her grandkids. But I think she's really going after Celeste to take her down.
Yep, definitely. Mm-hmm. And Celeste gave her a lot more ammo this episode. She was really slipping and made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, she slapped Mary Louise at the pumpkin carving party.
Which I think was pretty well deserved.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Louise was asking for it. And then, of course, being the quick-witted one she is, she snaps back with, what is that, foreplay?
Yeah.
Implying that that's how her and Perry got off, is by beating on each other.
Yeah. She should have thrown her ass out of the house at that point.
Yes.
Yep. But, yeah, Celeste didn't have a whole lot going on this episode. She was kind of a background character through most of the episode, which, surprisingly, a lot of it was at Amabella's party.
Yeah, the disco got some major screen time.
Yeah.
Everybody was there. In character, They
probably figure if they're putting all this makeup on, they're going to make it the whole episode.
Definitely.
Renata gets to go to Bankruptcy Court.
Yeah, she was not happy about that.
Nope, and everything is out on paper with selling the house and that they aren't in control of any of that kind of money. They're asking what kind of health the parents are in, making sure everything is on the papers, including cost of wedding bands and
pretty much everything they had on them plus what they drove there in.
Yeah, stupidly, why would you show up to bankruptcy court wearing a Rolex and a diamond wedding ring and stuff like that? Take that stuff off, hide it, put it away till all the proceedings are done.
I would blame the lawyer, actually.
Yeah, that's his fault.
Yeah.
He should have been the one, kind of guiding them, like, all right, we're going to show up this way.
I will drive you there.
Yeah, I'll drive you there. Not, they took a taxi back. Why couldn't the lawyer then drive him back home? They're paying him a lot of money, obviously. Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like he let them down. Plus, they're just flashy people. Like, we got money, we're going to show it off.
But go ahead.
She was not in a flashy dress.
No.
A change.
For once, yeah. But we do see how much money he lost. It was $33 million that they're going to potentially lose. But their assets are going to cover a large majority of it because the house is going to be
was over 20.
Over 20, yeah. So, but yeah, like we said, her job, she makes pretty good money. So hopefully they'll at least find another place to live temporarily. But that's a lot of assets to build back up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she said the big reason she was really upset was she had a dream of providing for her child and that child having a certain type of life. And, basically all that's going away now. So she's got to start over again.
Yeah, I think she's got to, adjust her reality a little bit now for her and her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having the millionaire lifestyle, like we can spend, I don't even know how much on a disco party with, 100,000
6 figures for sure.
Or more. On a 8-year-old's birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need that.
Yeah.
Tone it down just a little bit.
Yeah.
You'll get back up to being a millionaire before you know it.
Yeah. Yeah, she, for being self-made, as she calls it, she doesn't really seem to have a good concept for money. Like, still going out and getting Botox done, paying however much for, this party, which was, tens of thousands of dollars, I'm sure, because they had a band come in. I'm sure it was all catered.
Oh, definitely.
All the, ornaments and everything they had set
the
up.
gift bags.
The
Who
gift
knows
bags.
what
Everybody?
was in
Not just the
those.
kids, like every adult got one.
Yeah.
This was an expensive party, and
Yeah.
can't be doing that when you're bankrupt.
No,
No.
that was their last hurrah, I
Their
think,
last hurrah. Yep.
before they come and take all their stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so Madeline, her daughter, had a school project, and Chloe came out and said, "Hey, Mom, can you look at my school project?" And it was on opposites, and it had to be shown in pictures versus just words. And so Madeline's like, "Sure." And she's looking at it, and she's like, "Okay, you got a door and
A picture of
picture of me." And she's like, "I don't get it." And she's like, "Well, yeah, the door is hinged." She's like, "Oh, so I'm unhinged?"
Yeah. She
it
told
was
her to go
a
redo
major
it.
burn.
Yeah.
And Ed actually got a chuckle out of
That was the
that.
first time I think he's really showed any positive emotion around
Yeah.
Madeline.
Well,
Unless Bonnie's there, he's
Yeah.
definitely paling it up with Bonnie a bit.
yeah, 2 episodes in a row now.
And both Madeline and her ex-husband,
They're both noticing.
They see it,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not happy.
Yeah.
Which leads us to a little scuffle that Ed and Madeline's ex kind of get into. He walks by, I think, just looking to mess with him, and he winds up pulling his wig off his head and giving him like a headlock. He's like, "Oh, we're just messing around."
Yeah.
But
Renata wasn't having
No,
any of that.
she's like
Nope. super
pissed. Like, this is supposed to be a good time, positive energy.
Yep.
But yeah, those two, every time they get around each other, they end up just getting
Yeah.
into some sort of scuffle or word
I
exchange.
think they're the best part of the season for me.
Yeah. we almost got a little bit more of Renata at the metal detector,
So close.
We see her once again set it off, but they cut it.
They cut it.
It would have been nice to see that scene extended, her just, unloading on that security guard.
Yep. The same security guard as last time too. So
Put your arms out like an airplane.
I don't know. Maybe for the finale she'll finally blow up on her or something.
Somebody's got to get that, wrath of hers.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's given some, some pressure on her husband. Like, I'm really upset with you, but she hasn't gone off on him yet. Somebody's gonna get it.
And we saw Bonnie actually kind of blow up after her mom ends up having a stroke at the party.
Mm-hmm.
They're at the hospital, and the next day the detective shows up for some DUI or something, but Bonnie thinks that she's being investigated again, and she kind of blows up on her, like, what the fuck? Why are you here now?
Yeah.
And Jane has to stop her, but once again, the detective, every episode she's just there being sneaky. And
she's I think always got an eye on that group.
Yep.
And Mary Louise, as we know, is putting pressure on her to keep up with the investigation.
mm-hmm.
And all the characters throughout the episode, they keep having flashbacks of, Perry's death and kind of, thinking like, did we do the right thing? Is somebody else going to say something? And I think their group's really getting tested.
Yep, they're struggling quite a bit.
They're
with
struggling to keep it together.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think's going to be the first one to break? Because it sounds like somebody's going to break.
Might be Celeste.
Celeste is really having a tough time, and if something, with her kids, needs to be done,
Mm-hmm.
like to save herself, that might come out. Bonnie originally I thought might say something,
Yeah.
but then after seeing her exchange, with the detective, maybe not so much anymore because she's, she was after her for being there.
Yeah.
Not really like, oh, maybe I can talk to somebody about it. So, I don't know. I think Mary Louise is going to end up getting the truth out of one of them first.
Yeah, I was thinking Bonnie.
And then use it against them.
But either way, like, the detective's boss, like, is just letting her having free roam and, not investigating other crimes. Just this one mystery.
Well, I guess she's there for something else, so she is doing other stuff.
Maybe she is. Maybe that's just what she told
Well, Monterey
Jane.
must be a pretty easygoing town.
Well, there's no gangs.
Yeah, there's no gangs, yeah. So, it must be pretty nice.
Yeah, no crime there.
After the disco party, we see Celeste and Jane. They're at the bar and, having some drinks, talking about this and that. So Jane ends up leaving, and then Celeste kind of sticks around, and she's, chatting up with the bartender. She's like, oh, yeah, I'll take one more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently,
she takes it to go.
Takes a couple to go, takes an Ambien at some point, and, she wakes up the next morning just out of it completely when Mary Louise brings the kids back. And then in the background, you see, some shirtless dude walk through, and you're like, okay, something's going on here. Well, yeah, it winds up being the bartender she brought back to the house. Didn't even remember she did it.
Yeah, she said he was totally
there.
out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, Mary Louise right then and there. She already had the papers ready to go. And she's like, all right, these are getting filed. I'm gonna try and take your kids away because you're unfit.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, like Madeline said, she has a right to a private life. She could see somebody if she wants. But I think if she wants to battle for custody, she's going to have to...
She's got to clean it up.
Yeah, she's going to have to get some sort of, Narcotics Anonymous or something, or rehab program to show that she's clean for the judge. And, that drawer full of Ambien and all the other pills she's going to have to get rid of, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, now she's slapped Mary Louise. Mary Louise has witnessed her pushing down one of the boys.
Mm-hmm.
So
she's got some ammo against her
to have to deal with too.
She's been collecting it all season.
So
she's very crafty, old lady.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think she's just been putting this whole thing together and just waiting for that right moment. And that right moment was this episode.
Yep.
Yeah, and she actually ends up getting an apartment in the same building as Jane.
Jane.
Building, yeah.
Which we know, that's a plot device, right? She's using that to, gang up and get that kid too. But later on, we see Jane visit her and say, hey, did you move in here, specifically to try and take my kid away too? Like, what the fuck?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said, no, you're a good parent. Celeste is the bad parent. She's a bad mom. You wouldn't want your kid, like, in the same car with her. So, yeah, she's kind of being a little defensive, maybe trying to keep her somewhat close by, not make another enemy. But, yeah, I think that's always an option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She wants all the grandkids, take them away, and then move away.
And we noticed the lighting in that episode, or that part of the episode in the apartment. When Mary Louise was on the screen, it was just fine. But when they flipped the camera, it was completely blown and washed out when Jane was on the screen. Like,
yeah.
They could have put some shades down or something to light that better.
Yeah, who was the person setting that up?
Like, yeah, it was totally washed out.
Yeah.
Not a good shot.
Totally awful. We also saw Mary Louise was driving like a A8 or an S8, across the bridge there. So
they like their Audis there.
That family, yeah, they're all about the Audis. So not everybody on the show. So I don't know if the show is sponsored with them, but definitely that family.
Because Madeline drives a Buick.
Mm-hmm.
Jane drives a Prius.
Mm-hmm.
Which fits her character.
Renata drove a Tesla 2017.
Yeah.
No longer.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. So, speaking of Jane, she invites Corey to the disco party.
Yeah, and we don't think he even had to dress up. He already looks the part.
He probably already had that wardrobe like in his closet,
It's just part of his normal everyday wear. And she actually tells him like that she was raped and that Ziggy is a product of that rape and it was violent.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of like getting in the know of that and why she's the way she is with the dating.
She didn't say who the dad was yet, though.
No.
She left that out of it.
And, this could be healthy for her opening up to somebody else, or it could really hurt her if it ends up going downhill. So,
but she did have flashbacks of the rape.
Yeah, she has them all the time, I think. It really,
Yeah.
really affected her. And I don't think she really sees anybody or talks to anybody about it professionally, so. the end of this episode, we saw Bonnie's mom had a stroke and a seizure. And it looked like while that was happening, she was having visions. You know, she seems to be very spiritual. And at the end of the episode, we definitely see it's Bonnie drowning in a pool.
Yeah.
So maybe she's trying to see the future.
Yeah, which I think she's going to turn it into, you know, there's something you're not telling us. You know, something's taking you down.
Mm-hmm.
You got to, you know, tell us what's going on with you. So we'll see if her, you know, and her mom can, you know, go down that path, or if she's going to just block it out and tell her she's, you know, she didn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, I guess we're going to see. Next week's episode didn't really show us a whole lot other than it's just more Mary Louise, you know, mixing stuff up.
Yeah, it seems like there might be the first hearing, you know, with the lawyers,
Mm-hmm.
you know, custody battle over the kids. So I'm sure that's going to be pretty heated. And yeah, we'll see what else Mary Louise can bring out
Yeah,
against her.
I think that'll be the last really ugly episode. And then 6 and 7, I think we'll start wrapping things up and hopefully come to a nice conclusion at the end of the season.
Yeah, we'll see if they actually end it, you know, at this season, or if they leave it open for, you know, season 3.
Season 3, yeah.
So we'll see what they want to do with it.
Is it going to be another big, you know, problem at the end of this episode? Maybe they kill Mary Louise and then have to continue on? Or is it the same lie that's going to continue for 5, 6 seasons? You know, eventually
I think it's
they're going
Gotta
to get past
end it
it.
somewhere.
This whole Perry thing, I think, has to get put to bed
Right.
this episode.
Exactly.
Right? It just can't drag out. I mean, first off, we've all talked about it. It really shouldn't have been a big deal anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like, after this whole thing happened, they should have just said he was going after all of us. We pushed him off, and
Done.
he fell and died. Like, that was it.
Yeah.
He was a
There was
violent
no
person.
need for a cover-up.
Yeah.
And now that they've, you know, manufactured this, you know, cover-up, it's like a huge deal.
But I think once that plot line is closed, everything else going on is really just...
Life. It's nothing.
Normal life.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just normal, you know, TV drama stuff, and it really doesn't differentiate the show from anything else other than having a stellar cast. But
Right, yeah. I mean, you can't get
do I
past
want
it.
to keep watching if it's just, you know, hey, so-and-so's plot of the week against the teacher, and,
Yeah.
you know,
Renata's building her life back up from
Yeah.
being broke.
it's like, okay, she bought a new Tesla 2018.
Yeah. So I think that they're going to wrap it up after season 2. I think I can't see another storyline coming about from this, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
we'll see. We got a couple more episodes left. Come back next week. We will be on episode 5, and then we'll be in the home stretch, I think. So go ahead and click subscribe, and we'll pop in your feed next week. And if you want to see any updates on new shows coming up from us, go ahead and follow us at Southport Media on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Yeah. We've got a couple different ideas we're tossing around about different show options. So
Yep.
let us know what you guys want to see, and we'll talk about it.